As we've been mentioning, there is a protest happening in Melbourne as well. This is where we find Georgie Dickinson, who I think is just getting set up for us. Georgie, can you hear us okay? There looks like there's a fair few people behind you there and much better weather, I must say, compared to what's happening in Sydney. Can you bring us up to speed as to what's happening there and what you're expecting to happen?
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Kenny and Janie. At the moment, we are seeing thousands of protests gather here outside the State Library here in Melbourne's CBD. They are expecting to start here. They started around 12 o'clock this morning. We've had speeches going on for around the past hour or so. Then what we will see is all these protesters march down Swanston Street right in front of me, where I am now, turning right onto Flinders Street. And this is when they will get to the King Street Bridge. The King Street Bridge is what police are most concerned about. This is what they are trying to block off. Now, in terms of why this could be such a problem for authorities, is police are worried emergency services aren't going to be able to get from one side of the city to the other, and this bridge is a key way, a key thoroughfare that needs to remain open so those emergency services can get through. Now, just a few moments ago, we had a protester just a few metres from me begin to yell. It resulted in a swarm of protesters going around him, tackling him to the ground. The police just a few minutes ago actually had to step in to bring that under control because it did turn aggressive very quickly. And that is what police are worried about today, is that these protests could turn violent. That is why there is so many hundreds of police around the area today to ensure that it remains a calm protest. We had some singing earlier today. It was extremely calm during these speeches, and we are starting to hear it ramp up in the past 10 minutes or so. At the moment, we can see just down here, we are seeing people with drums. Many people have pots and pans in their hands. This is what's making some of the such loud noise around here. In terms of what we are going to see from the protesters, they have actually put an image online to show where they want people to stand in the protest line to ensure that everyone remains safe. There's also the parents and mothers are here, and they've said that they need to remain in a certain line in this protest. So we're not exactly sure what caused this ruckus a few moments ago, but police and other protesters very quick to swoop in on that one individual. But I want to play a snippet for you now of what some of the speakers had to say a few moments ago.
We do not abide by this two-state solution that Australia and other Western nations call for.
While Palestine is there with extermination, 2 million people exterminated before our very eyes. By the time we have change, by the time there is action, how many people will be alive in Gaza, and how many people will continue to be there for a Palestinian state?
Israel is a terrorist country. Israel is a terrorist entity. Israel is the occupying force, and the colony will fall. The Israeli colony will fall.
Now, as I mentioned, there will be hundreds of authorities on standby today for these protests. On Friday, police did issue a statement and spoke to the media in a press conference about their movements today, and they said that they had tried to speak to some members and some organisers of this rally to say if they could change the route, but they have disobeyed those calls from authorities, and authorities have said that anyone doing the wrong thing will be dealt with the full brunt of the force today. But here is Premier Jacinta Allen speaking on the protests.
Anyone who tries to block emergency services or everyday Victorians moving around the city safely will be dealt with swiftly by Victoria Police. And I was briefed this morning by the Chief Commissioner of Police and the Police Minister about the operational arrangements that they have in place for today. They are strong operational arrangements in place for today. Those arrangements are in place to support people's safety.
So, Kenny and Jamie, police going to be bearing the full brunt of the force on these protests to ensure that they do remain peaceful. I'll give you one more quick look. At the moment, you can see people starting to gather at the end here of Swanston Street. We believe that this is going to be the front area of the march. So all of these thousands thousands of people that are waiting on the side outside the State Library will be joining that protest as then they move down Swanston Street and then down to the King Street Bridge. They expect the protest to finish at around 2:30 this afternoon.
All right, Georgie, thank you very much. We'll touch base with you again. There's Georgie live in Melbourne.